Hey, so surprise guys, we've actually won the latest major order, and I certainly wasn't expecting it. I know most of you probably weren't either, but yeah, we've won it. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about an exploit that helped with the major order, surprisingly enough. There's also the support team member that has talked about, just kind of denying the rumors about how they were intentionally trying to screw us over. By them, I mean the developers. They weren't at all. The way she explained it anyways makes sense, but that's not all. There's even more to cover. If you enjoyed the content, as always, show some love by hitting the like button below the video. I'd really appreciate it. Let's jump right in. Alrighty, so we need to discuss the major order. It looks like we've somehow managed to win, and the Leviathan eliminations are complete, as is the factory strider requirements. We can see from the major order that since we've won, we've unlocked new construction sites on 3 different planets. New Urian City will be built on Fort Sanctuary, New Aspiration City will be constructed on Emiria, and lastly, New Hope City will be established on Fort Union. All 3 planets have a symbol above them, oddly placed around 3 different faction sides. One on the Terminate side, the second on the Automaton side, and the third on the Illuminate side. I've got a funny feeling that those planets will be attacked in the near future, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when that day comes. To be fair, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I wasn't expecting us to win this major order, yet it somehow happened. Sure, we can give some credit to High Command for reducing the number of Leviathans we needed to eliminate. However, as I mentioned earlier, players have been using a new method to rack up points for the major order, and it's all due to an exploit. Here's what Helldivers were doing. They'd locate evacuation missions, marked right here with the defense icon on the galactic map. Once you found that, you could then locate the Leviathan modifier on the bottom right corner. You started up with your favorite stratagem for taking down these whales. When you arrive, you want to head to the backside where the terminal is, if I can speak. Aim at the generators and you just destroy them. After doing this, you'll notice that the Leviathans continuously spawn, and other Illuminate enemy types won't appear because the exploit is active. Plus, the timer at the top freezes at 20 minutes, and that's how Helldivers were able to hunt down so many Leviathans and complete the requirement quickly. With that said, it seems High Command even hinted at this method yesterday, as you'll notice in yesterday's video's dispatch, where they mentioned something about innovative Leviathan hunting techniques. It's funny to see them bring that up. The developers clearly knew about it or know about it, and if they decided to patch it, they probably will. Hopefully not. Anyway, I'd love to know how many of you Helldivers out there thought that this wasn't possible, that you weren't expecting it. Just let me know what you think about this, because it's insane. Anyhow, now that you're aware of how the major order was won, let's take a closer look at the major order success message. It states that the 3 planets I mentioned earlier will become maximum security cities, equipped with the high-definition facial recognition cameras pre-installed in every block and building, increased foot and drone patrols, and dedicated surveillance satellites orbiting each planet. High Command has informed us that these are just some of the state-of-the-art safety features. So who knows what else they're using to keep citizens safe. Some might say it's to keep them in check, but I prefer the word safe, because after all, that's what we're doing, right? Right. Additionally, according to the major order message, applications have surged and citizens are applying so quickly that these spots are selling like hotcakes, I'm telling you. Unfortunately, not every citizen will be accepted, as each applicant will undergo a background scan to ensure that every resident on these planets is patriotic and vigilant, basically to prevent any dissidents from slipping through. I love democracy, and every citizen out there is going to be so happy to be, monitored and everything else in between. It's going to be a great time, guys, I'm telling you. On a related note, we've received a new dispatch from High Command informing us that after decimating so many Leviathans, we've inspired citizens to purchase war bonds. They also announced that we've gained a free stratagem slot, and the new stratagem is the Emancipator Mech. What's cool about this is that you can now temporarily use a double mech loadout. Yes, allowing you to deploy 2 mechs in one game, so if one runs out of ammo, you can easily call down the second one and keep fighting. It's a fun loadout that provides a ton of firepower and control on the battlefield. Okay, now that we know this, you might be wondering why the devs decided to reduce the Leviathan eliminations yesterday. It seems they wanted to give us a real shot at winning while still keeping the possibility of losing. We know this because a support team member, Vitamin, responded to a post on their official Discord. A Helldiver essentially claimed that the developers or game masters tried to rig the major order. In their words, fudge it, or something like that. But Vitamin replied that this wasn't their intent. They said the change was made to keep the major order challenging yet winnable. I can totally see that, considering the previous requirement of 3.75 million eliminations was a bit outrageous. I think for future major orders, requiring us to eliminate that many Leviathans should be reduced. The number should be reduced to around 1 million instead of 3.75 million or 3.75 million. Regardless, what I'd like to know is, what do you think about that? Do you believe that it was best to reduce it? Do you think they should even give us more major orders where we have to eliminate Leviathans? I'd like to know what you all think about that. Personally, I think the eliminations for Leviathans are a bit outrageous. I'd rather not do it. I personally don't have a lot of fun taking them out, and most likely I think some of you would agree with that. But let me know what you think. With that topic aside, we've got a post from a Helldiver asking the support team about cross-save or cross-progression, tomato, specifically whether they can transfer their PlayStation 5 progress to PC. A support team member replied back informing the Helldiver that cross-save is not supported and that there are currently no plans to introduce cross-progression. At this point, you might think there's no chance for cross-progression. However, we know from a past response by the CEO that it's on their wish list, as mentioned when a Helldiver asks about it, so it seems there's still a chance we'll get cross-progression. It's just a matter of when. I'm certainly hoping for a feature like this down the road, perhaps after Xbox players join. If I see any updates on this, I'll be sure to keep you all informed. I wanted to cover this post to reassure you that there's still a good chance for progression, if I could speak. We just have to wait and hope it arrives someday. Moving along, did you know that Arrowhead's senior material artists and their team created 100 materials for biome terrains? I didn't know this until the senior material artists revealed that. By the end of summer 2022, they had completely made and remade all biome terrains all within a single year. They worked tirelessly to craft the biomes we've already explored, like the snow and desert biomes, as shown in the screenshot. And it makes sense now as to why they say it takes so long to create new biomes, which, by the way, I hope we get to explore some new ones soon. That'd be incredible. I'm really looking forward to a volcano biome from Helldivers 1. Speaking of which, I'd love to know what biome you're looking forward to, or at least hope the developers create. If you can, post a response below, and I'll respond to a few of you. Now let's switch gears for a minute. As you all know, sometime last year, the devs removed a mission called Retrieve Essential Personnel. If you don't know, one of the main reasons they removed it was because some of the players in the community found it too difficult. Plus, the developers confirmed back then, about a year ago, that they pulled it to give it the proper attention and care, as they felt it wasn't fun enough, or that it wasn't performing as they wanted to, as you can see here. Some of you already know this, but for those who didn't, there you go. That's the main reason why. I think it's time they brought it back and introduced new and different mission types. However, before they do that, I think it'd be best for the developers to focus on patching as many bugs as possible. Besides that, new missions would be awesome to see in the future, as well as this old mission here. What do you think? Should they bring back that mission and drop a few new ones after fixing as many bugs as possible? If so, post a response below with what you'd like to see, and I'll check a few of your comments. Lastly, we've got the top 3 comments. First from Beta, that basically talked about how the rail cannon strike needs to at least get 3 uses before it cools down, and I think that's a great idea. Possibly maybe 2 if people feel like it's OP. I don't know. I think 3's perfectly fine. but maybe 2 would be better. I don't know. If anyone has any thoughts on this, let me know. The second top comment is by Samuel, and you talk about how players have asked for another 60-day patch dedicated to only resolving bugs and working through all the technical debt, apparently. I think it's a great idea, but there's also the other side of the coin where some might be like, well, where's the content? We need content. You know how it is. Last but not least, we have Dizzer that said, don't let the Redditors have any voting rights when it comes down to voting on possibly Discord because of the whole map voting, or maybe it would be something on the Super Destroyer. I have got no idea here. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting comment. With that said, hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, tap the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and if you have any questions, let me know. I appreciate everything that you guys do. Thank you to the subscribers, lurkers, and members. I appreciate everyone. See you in the next one.